The woman noticed something strange while taking a shower. A strange man suddenly broke into the house. He even thoughtfully handed her a towel. But the strange thing is, the woman seemed unable to see the man. She just walked past like nothing had happened. Only then did the man following behind realize. Turns out Daisy was a blind woman who could not see. At this moment she was still preparing to start cooking as usual, but she had no idea that on the floor beside her husband was already lying in a pool of blood. Until Daisy opened the microwave and turned around to get some rest. Only then did Daisy sense something was wrong. She quickly asked the man how he got inside, but he just kept throwing vases, using the sound of them smashing, deliberately making Daisy panic in confusion. Realizing the man had bad intentions, Daisy quickly ran for her life. She first hid in the bedroom to buy some time. To get timely help, she opened the laptop on the bed, using its voice recognition function. She sent a distress text to her sister, but the voice recognition was still too slow. At that moment the man smashed the window with a chair, then suddenly lunged forward and pinned Daisy to the ground. In fact, he was a thief just like him. He even took off with the stolen money from his own partners, and Jeff came here just to get that money back. But this explanation was obviously unconvincing. How could her husband, the man she lived with every day, be some kind of thief? Just as Jeff pressed her about the money's location, his phone suddenly rang. It was Jeff's older brother calling. He asked if the stolen money had been found. While Jeff was on the phone, Daisy quickly put on some clothes. At that moment she happened to find a camera. She quickly hid the camera behind her back. When Jeff finished the call he was already angry, but Daisy pretended nothing had happened. Jeff pressed Daisy to tell him where the money was. Otherwise, even if he wouldn't do anything to her, his brother would personally take care of it. But no matter how Jeff pressed, Daisy knew nothing about the stolen money. Luckily Jeff was still some distance away, so Daisy kept running toward the first floor, with Jeff chasing closely behind. But Daisy became completely disoriented, and unknowingly ran into the basement, where Jeff could easily catch her. Just as Daisy felt completely hopeless, her neighbor heard the noise and came over. Daisy quickly told the neighbor to call the police, and not to come inside. But the neighbor insisted he could protect Daisy. Hiding in the corner, Daisy was dumbfounded until the next second. The neighbor was killed, while Jeff was busy dealing with the body, then said he would first get Daisy settled. But right then, Jeff also came over. Turns out the so-called officer was Jeff's brother, and Daisy was taken back home again. Unlike Jeff, the older brother was more cunning. He came to Daisy and gently persuaded her, saying her husband had indeed run off with the stolen money. Otherwise they would not have gone to such trouble. He even respectfully covered her husband's body with a blue cloth. But even after all his kind words, Daisy truly did not know anything about the stolen money. She didn't even know her husband was a thief. With no choice, the older brother decided to get tough and let Jeff interrogate Daisy instead. Just as Jeff was threatening her with a knife, the older brother seemed to notice something. They did not want more trouble, so they warned Daisy not to call the police for an hour, or they would come back to deal with her. For now Daisy was out of danger, and she could only follow their warning and hide at home without contacting police. After so much turmoil, Daisy gradually fell asleep. When she woke up she realized she had to go find the police, but just as she was about to leave, Jeff and the older brother were still hiding inside the house. Turns out they had never left, and their purpose was more than just money. Daisy quickly broke free and ran. In panic she rushed to the balcony and found a stick to defend herself, but the two showed no fear, and from their conversation she learned. Daisy rushed to confront the older brother. Even Jeff could not stand it anymore. Although he was not a good man, he still felt pity for the animal. The two then argued. Daisy seized the chance and quickly climbed up to the rooftop. Just then a helicopter flew overhead. Daisy desperately called out for help. Even though visibility at night was poor, the helicopter spotted Daisy. Just when she thought she was saved, the older brother appeared behind her with a weapon. Just when she thought she was saved, the older brother appeared behind her with a weapon.
Give me one last chance.
Facing the weapon behind her, Daisy could only wave at the helicopter. The pilot thought they were greeting, so he flew away. Daisy fell into complete despair. The older brother dragged her to the edge of the roof and asked where the diamonds were. With no choice, Daisy said in the safe at home. The two immediately began cutting it open. Just as she was about to suffocate, a knock suddenly came at the door. The two were stunned. From Daisy they learned it was her pregnant sister coming to visit. They dragged Daisy up, warning her to cooperate, or her sister's life would be at risk. Both of them hid behind the walls. When the door opened they saw the sister and her husband. Daisy quickly lied that she had fought with her husband and told them to leave, but her sister insisted on coming in. The older brother was ready. As soon as they stepped inside he would shoot. Daisy's heart raced. Luckily her sister suddenly felt pain. Her water had broken, so they had to abandon entering Daisy's house and rushed to the hospital instead. While the older brother smashed the flower pot on the balcony, Jeff melted the ice with water and hid all the diamonds in his pocket. But he did not realize the older brother had already seen him. When Jeff brought the coffee with a knife hidden behind his back, planning to take the diamonds for himself. The older brother already knew his intentions. Clearly Jeff wanted to keep the diamonds. As Jeff handed over the coffee, the older brother was ready. Jeff had no idea.
Here, Tiffany.
Jeff fell to the ground. The older brother slowly approached with his weapon and found the diamonds Jeff had hidden. After checking them many times, they were indeed the ones Daisy's husband had stolen. While he admired their shine, behind him, the older brother screamed and dropped both weapon and diamonds, but Daisy had already picked up the weapon. Even though she could not see like others, her sharp hearing guided her. When the older brother stayed silent and hiding, Daisy held up the diamonds, threatening to throw them off the building if he did not come out. The older brother rushed forward. He strangled Daisy again, but she still had the weapon in her hand.
I won't.
With a swing she pushed him off the building. At last Daisy was rescued, but the movie left two symbolic shots. Daisy did not report the case. Instead she skillfully froze the diamonds, and even knew how to cover them under a layer.